year was made of glass, so this definitely feels more premium than any Note before it. Okay, 2016 was the year of the Galaxy Note 7, and this was a very interesting phone for a lot of reasons. For starters, they jumped a number. They went straight from the Note 5 to the Note 7, because for the longest time the Galaxy Note series had lagged one number behind their S series. The Note 1 came out just after the S2, the Note 2 came out just after the S3, etc. So they finally fixed it. In 2016 they had the Galaxy S7 phones, and now the Note 7. Good decision. But actually, as well as jumping in numbers, they also jumped in price. If you've been paying attention to the prices of the last phones, they were all pretty much around $700. This thing was $850. Now, in order to charge more for their phones, they had to position them as luxury items, hence the complete packaging redesign to this all-new black theme, which they've actually stuck with since. They also started giving their earphones in a box, because I guess that makes it feel more special. We still kinda had the same issue as last year, in that now that we had an S7 and a bigger S7 Edge, this Note was still struggling to find its place. It didn't feel as differentiated as the Note lineup once was. But as a phone, as a prospect, as something a customer would consider buying, this also felt like the best bits of Samsung coming together at once. It took the Edge displays of the Galaxy S7 Edge and integrated them by default. They brought back microSD cards, which were ditched the year before, and doubled the base storage of the S7 to 64 gigs. It's also the first Note that's IP certified against water and dust, which is actually quite tricky to do with these phones because they have that removable pen. Oh, and also, this phone was where Samsung first integrated iris scanning. That didn't age well. Oh, and of course, there was a bigger problem with the Note 7. The first 5 days of this phone going on sale were glorious. It was doing great numbers, the reviews were fantastic, but then all of a sudden out of nowhere, they started exploding. First, one report, and to be honest, when I saw that a Galaxy Note 7 had exploded for the first time, I didn't really think much of it. After all, when a new phone is released, people often try to find problems with it. But then there was another, and another, and another, and within 12 days of the phone being on sale, every single unit sold, 2.5 million Galaxy Note 7s, were recalled. Samsung then tried to fix them, claimed they had fixed them, sent them out again, only for them to start exploding again. The fallout from this was ridiculous. It got to the stage where even airlines had notice boards telling you not to board the plane if you had one of these phones. It was like a suicidal ad campaign for Samsung. So, given that the Note 7 was recalled, you might be wondering what this phone I have here is. Well, this is the Note Fan Edition. Samsung obviously couldn't sell the Galaxy Note 7 anymore, but they still had a factory full of parts that they'd ordered for those phones. So they basically used those parts and built a phone that is basically the Galaxy Note 7, but it's rebadged as the FE. On the subject of explosions though, 2017 was the year that screen sizes exploded. And it's not that phones got bigger in particular, it's just that the bezels got shaved dramatically. So much so that the 5.7-inch display on the Galaxy Note 7 became 6.3 inches on the Galaxy Note 8. This phone's box is pretty much just an evolution of the all-black theme they introduced last year. It's very premium, all accessories have their place, as opposed to just sitting loosely inside, and Samsung has also leveled up the earphones thanks to a partnership with AKG. Like the last few years, the Note 8 was pretty similar to the plus-sized S phone just before it. Same chipset, similar display size, both went up to 6 gigs of RAM. But this was the year that Samsung finally figured out the direction they wanted to take their Note phones in. The Note 8 was where Samsung cemented their design language, pebble-like curves for S, writing pad-like boxiness for the Note. And this establishment of a new identity was helped by the removal of the home button, and a new space theme for their entire Galaxy range. This definitely felt like a futuristic rebrand. Even in terms of marketing, this is the year when Samsung finally started framing their S phones as the fun ones for social media, and the Note phones as the professional phones for people who mean business. And this separation makes total sense. See, in the early days of smartphones, Samsung could just take one of their S-series phones, add in a bunch of features that were missing, and be like, look guys, we've got a new phone. But as this smartphone market has matured, and as pretty much all flagship phones have become good, with no obvious missing features, Samsung has realized that this isn't a sustainable strategy. It's much harder now to add features that create a noticeable improvement. So instead, Samsung has just shifted to framing their S-series and their Note series in different ways. The one thing the Note 8 did have though was 2 cameras. This was actually the first Samsung phone ever with a dual camera setup. One normal and one 2x optical zoom. But all that said, I liked, but I didn't love this phone. Those dual cameras were okay. Samsung shrunk the battery in trying to be extra careful, and so endurance wasn't great. Plus, the fingerprint scanner was way too high, I just couldn't get used to it. Oh yeah, and it was even more expensive at $930. Following on from that phone, 2018 brought us the Galaxy Note 9, which was basically just Samsung fixing a few problems and doubling down on their newfound direction for the Note. For the packaging, pretty much the only change is that the outer sleeve has been swapped from showing the name of the phone to just showing the S Pen. The Note 9 is on top, and apart from that, it is practically identical. The Note 9 was basically a bunch of small improvements that made the phone a lot better to use, but just not hugely exciting. They brought the fingerprint scanner further down, they whacked the battery up to a very respectable 4000 mAh, they added Bluetooth to the S Pen so it could take photos remotely, and added in a dual speaker setup, bringing Samsung's audio from one of the weaker phones to one of the stronger phones. They also, I guess to try and visually differentiate it, created this two-tone finish, which I remember at the time describing it a bit like when you break the door of your car and the replacement doesn't quite match. I stand by it. But a cool touch this time was that the writing ink would now be the same colour as the pen you got with your phone. I used the Note 9 for quite a long time and I really liked it. 2019 was a big year for the Note. In fact, it was the first time ever that we had not just a Galaxy Note 10, but a Galaxy Note 10 Plus. But we'll focus on the Note 10 Plus because